Alright, welcome to another painting tutorial. This one we look at the Dark Eldar Archon model. So here's what the guy looked like when I was all finished, using sort of the standard Dark Eldar paint scheme. All these paints here will be available on my blog. I'll have that image there, and so you can check those out. What I did is I started out by doing the base colors over a sort of a green spray color, and just painted all those on quickly so that I would be able to show you the actual painting process much more efficiently. And so that's kind of looking at the model all around. And here we go, starting with the washes. So after the base coat, the washes help deepen some of the colors, and as well they kind of cover up some of the mistakes you might have made just by covering up any of the deep areas with a darker color. And then once you start highlighting, you won't be able to tell any small mistakes that you made there. So Newland oil over all of the green bits and any silver, and then AGRAX Earthshade over all the gold bits, red bits, flayed flesh. I could have done another wash for that purple cloak, but I decided not to. So it's just going to be highlighted straight up the way it is. Okay, so then I let this dry for a while, and I went on to Cabalite Green, and so this is on the armor there, just doing all the basic flat areas, trying to avoid any of the shaded bits, so the deep cracks between the armor plating, just trying to paint all the flat surfaces right up to the edges with this color. And I mean, that's the general idea with layer painting technique, is that you base coat, wash, first highlight is the flat surfaces, and then the next highlight is just sort of edge highlighting, however you like to do that. So Sabarite Green now for the sort of edges, just trying to pick out the details and sort of accentuate all of those there. And it doesn't really matter if you get some of the other colors, because like highlight onto the other areas, because you're going to be doing all those later, and that's one of the benefits of doing this technique by going from one color to another. That said, I did do all of the greens at once. Sometimes it's better to do sort of your first highlights, and then to go back and do your next highlights, sort of each across the board colors. So I'm doing Cadian Flesh Tone here on the flayed flesh, and just again doing all the main areas. I decided to do that thing on his back there as flayed flesh as well. I don't know, maybe that's supposed to be something else, but that's what I used. And then KISLEV flesh for some sort of edge highlighting here, trying to bring out some more of the details. And I will be going back and doing this with a Screaming Skull. So Ushabti bone on all the flat surfaces on the bone. So I used the whole sword there, as well as the sort of the bone things in the flayed flesh. And yeah, just again using the same techniques, avoiding all of the deep crevices, and working towards the higher surfaces. Doing a little bit of blending, but for the most part just painting straight on. And then Screaming Skull, that'll be the sort of edge highlights on the flayed flesh, as well as that bone bit there. Alright, so next we're going to do Iron Breaker. So this will be for all of the silver bits, so the little hooks, and some of the detail on that little dagger, and some of the blades on his back and his shoulder there. And then we're going to use a RUNEFAN steel, and that'll be just slight edge highlighting on those same bits. Very small bit. Okay, again as gold for all of the gold areas, so his shoulder pads, chest plate, some of the stuff on his helmet, that sort of thing. So again, painting the major surfaces with this color, and with the next highlight, we just doing some of the edges on it. I don't find that the gold highlight, the next one here, is very very good. It kind of goes on Arutic. I really hate these GW paint color names. Anyways, that one doesn't go on the greatest, but it's something anyways. So Scrag Brown over top of the gloves there, so I did those kind of a leathery color. I think that was the only thing on this model using those colors. I did go back and do the sort of the necklace chain with this off camera. And DEATHCLAW brown just for some edge highlighting to help bring that up a bit more. Okay, next I'm going to be doing the cloak, and there's a XEREUS or purple, and so again, trying to blend this a bit more than I do most of the other colors just because of the smooth flowing nature of the cloak. So you can see how I'm doing that there, trying to avoid the deep cracks, trying to follow the shapes of the cloak, and doing a little bit of blending. And then GENESTEALER purple on the higher surfaces, same idea, just much less of that than the other purple. And try to make sure that I get all of the folds in that the brightest color I can. Again, I could have gone with another layer highlighting here, or even some other details on it, but I didn't. Okay, so now I'm doing some of the reds here. So this is one of the pinks, the horror pink, I think it is. I missed the beginning of that video. Yeah, just trying to paint up the majority of the higher surfaces on all of the hair bits. And it's tricky with these fine cast models because some of that detail's lost. And then Emperor's Children. I'm also doing the eyes here, the same sort of a reddish color. And so now I'm just doing sort of edge highlighting with this. And then I'm going to go up to a bit of white, so a white scar for some of the edge highlighting. And there we are there, white scar. And just trying to get some of the higher bits of the hair that stick out a bit. Some of the edges around the eyes. Didn't really like how the eyes turned out. But then after this I'm going to be doing a bit of glazes. So I'm doing the same white edge highlighting on that the Soul Trap, I believe that's called. And now I'm going with Bloodletter, Glaze, and going over that just to help redden up the pinkish colors there. And doing the same with the eyes. And then I'm going to be doing WAYWATCH green on the Soul Trap just to help make that a bit more of a turquoisey color. And then Longbeard gray on the base there, and I'm basically done. So did the hair on his shoulder pads the same sort of way, and there's the model all complete. So he's done in the sort of bog standard Dark Eldar army colors, which is the way the rest of my Dark Eldar army looks. And if you want to check out some of those other tutorials, be sure to check out my channel here on YouTube, or go to my blog. It's like watching paintdry.blogspot.com. There should be a link in the description below, and check that out. See you next time.